Rebel Chums, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna start with a new series, and that is all about the vintage Star Wars figures. You can see a pile of a lot of figures in front of me. I showed some of the figures already in previous videos. So the idea of this new series is, on the monthly basis, I buy myself a couple of vintage Star Wars figures and I'm gonna review them. And the more I get, the more elaborate the videos become, because I can show different versions of the same figure. For example, just grabbing a random figure like this Chewbacca, for example. I will get so many different variants of Chewbacca made in Taiwan, China, and wherever I can get my hands on, and then I'm doing comparison of the different molds, the different variations, all by each other, comparing all the different stuff for you guys. And I go over the manufacture date, the location where they have been made, and all the changes. So we're also gonna cover the history as accurate as possible, so that fellow vintage Star Wars collectors can see all the different variants out there, and I try to cover that as much as possible. Now, this big pile of figures that I have are not for sale, so don't ask me. I'm not gonna sell any of my vintage collection. That is just purely for me. These are all beater figures, so these are between the $3 to $5 figures. They have paint scuffs, they're incomplete, they don't have their weapons, they don't have their little gadgets and whatnot, but yet I'm very happy with this. For example, this R2, it has seen way better days. It has a pop-up antenna. In this case it's stuck, unfortunately, and it's definitely pretty yellow and dirty. But then again, I'm very happy to have this figure, and yeah, just a neat little figure to have in my figure collection. For example, this is Princess Leia. She was one of the very first figures released in the Star Wars vintage line back in 97.7. She's missing her cape, and she has been yellowed, and she has some paint scuffs everywhere, and her limbs are quite loose, for example. But then again, I'm still very happy with this little figure. I mean, they're rather inexpensive beater figures. You can also buy them mint on card, etc., or mint with the weapons and not, but it's going to be very expensive, and you're looking at hundreds of dollars for sought after figures, and I'm not willing to spend that kind of money, so I just buy whatever I can get my hands on. This is, for example, a stiff limb C-3PO. I can't move or relax anymore, and the limbs are super loose. But then again, I'm super happy because I have a vintage C-3PO, although he looks like he wants to stick his penis in some sort of a port or something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is my favorite figure from all the Star Wars vintage collection, and that is Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi. I actually got a whole batch of these figures coming up, so I got 11 Luke Skywalker vintage Return of the Jedi figures coming with me. 5 of them will come with their brown cape, and another 5 or 6 will be like this. No weapon, no lightsaber, unfortunately, or Jabba Palace blaster, but still very cool figure. Definitely one of my favorites. So yeah, no worries guys, we're gonna cover all these figures. I can cover them one by one and just go over them, where they have been manufactured, what is their manufacturing date, and then you guys can know which kind of variants there are out there. For example, small head Luke, big head Luke, and whatnot. And there's so much out there, and it's so cool. These little figures, they're really awesome. I really enjoy them, and maybe over time I'm able to find some capes and some weapons for them, and then I can basically equip them how they were originally. But some of them are in worse shape than others, and I love them all. I love them all. If you have some vintage Star Wars figures left, like for example these beater figures, they're not in the best of shape, like they have paint scuff, etc. They're not worth a lot of money, but to me they are. If you have something available and you would like to send me some, definitely do that. Send me a message, and I will send you my address. I'm not looking to make money or something, or get the rare and expensive stuff, don't get me wrong. I'm just looking for these cheap disposable figures, because I just really like to collect them all. I just really love to collect them all. I just want to have all I want to just have so many different Obi-Wans and whatnot. I don't really care about what the quality of the figure is. I can paint them a bit and stuff like that. So I'm looking for the beaters. So if you have anything left and you're willing to part with them and you want to gift them to me, definitely do a shout out to me. I will be super interested in that. I'm not looking for the expensive figures or making money or the blue Snaggletooths and stuff like that. I just want to expand my collection, because to me it doesn't really matter what the state of the figures are, if they're completely yellowed, missing a lot of paint apps. I just love to collect them. So if you have some beaters lying around and you want to get rid of them, just let me know. I would be very interested in taking them over from you, if you giving them away, for example. That would be super sweet. Anyway, hope you're gonna like this new series. It will be informative. It will be more of an informative deep delve in the history of these vintage Star Wars figures. It's a bit of acquired taste. It won't be for everybody to follow, but it might be interesting from time to time to check out what I purchased and what I got new in the collection. When I move back to Holland, I will display them all, so they won't be in a big pile. They will be all nicely displayed on the shelves. And then we're gonna expand on that. I really love these old vintage figures. They just look cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next video. Bye bye.